for MSP 420. And before we get chit-chatting with Dennis James, I want to tell you, why am I wearing a Cloud Summit shirt? Well, it's because I'll be at Ingram Cloud Summit in Denver, Colorado next week, slipping that in before the late Thanksgiving week this year and Small Business Saturday. But got to remember, folks, we're talking two things here. Really one thing. It's the cannabis technology play, and it's a big conversation. So Ingram is a big technology distributor that would have security products and so on that would be of interest to MSPs targeting this vertical. However, we got to talk about the vertical. There's sort of the government affairs aspect, there's the niches within the vertical, and there's no one more nichier than Dennis James out of Seattle, Washington. Sir, welcome home from Scotland.
Yes.
glad you enjoyed. It sounds like you had a great time. Quickly, that was an organized tour via the popular PBS travel guy, Rick Steves. So you went on an organized tour of Scotland?
Oh, yeah. It's interesting. We thought the first time we were to go to Scotland, what we would do is we would actually set it up so that somebody guided us around a little bit and did a great job. It cost some shekels, but bottom line is we really had a good time. We were there for about 15 days, and I saw every way that Scottish people live, from crannogs to castles, and it was really pretty cool.
All right. Well, hey, let's get into the good stuff. So for listeners that aren't aware or looked at past videos, you have expertise in both the medical cannabis field and the senior cannabis field. So quickly introduce yourself and then tell me what we can look to in 2020, maybe some developments you think might happen.
Well, my company is medicanacare.com, and I have a website by that name as well. And what I do is I assist seniors and other people that need medical cannabis to safely use it. You know, the nickel tour is I got sick, I found cannabis, I got well. So after that, I thought, well, you know, possibly what I need to do is help some people here and there to learn how to use it safely. And so that's what I've been doing over the last 2 years.
Yeah, and I'm aware of, I believe in early October, if I'm correct, you went up to Whidbey Island, did a presentation. So you're doing presentations at assisted living centers and so on.
Yep, that was a particularly interesting one. People don't, they underestimate the interest that people have in medical cannabis.
Yeah.
And so when I spoke to the lady there, she said, I would think that maybe you'll have, you know, 5 or 6 people there, and we ended up having 35. So, and then plus we were there for about 4 hours because I stay as long as they want to answer any question that I can. But I can't prescribe, but I can talk about my anecdotal stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So what's 2020 going to bring for you other than more of the same, and maybe anything in the industry that sparks your interest?
Well, as you and I have discussed in the past, the point is that I deal with the seniors and I have a good presentation and that works out and people are letting me actually do it, which I think is always amazing. But upcoming year 2020 is based on now I need to bring in the medical cannabis and cannabis retailers into understanding what seniors need. So I've developed a short video program that gives them a presentation on medical cannabis in general, and then I talk about in another video how the seniors want to be treated, what their expectations are, and things like that. And then the last one, I'm talking about cooperative selling. You know, it's been called many things in the past, but basically it's all about how to ask people questions to make sure that you give them the right products. So that's going to be my big thing next year. And then hopefully we'll start getting into doctors, but I think that in order for me to get doctors involved, I think it's got to be federally legal.
Yeah. Although doctors in the state of Washington can have the conversation, right? A palliative care specialist can have the conversation with you, but to your point, there are some inherent roadblocks from going too much further than that. Hey, I have an update for you. You just got me thinking about something because of your niche. And I haven't even told you this, so this is live on the air. I went to I might have told you I was going to the RAD Expo, so Retail and Dispensary Expo in Portland, Washington. That was a couple of weeks ago. I popped down, basically a day and a half, and well over 1,000 attendees, 100 booths, yada yada yada. Very robust show. So it's the end of the supply chain, right? The
Right.
dispensaries, retailers. And there was an architect from Toronto, Canada, who spoke, who specializes in dispensary design. And because it's federally legal up there, his blueprints, his work could be replicated across the entire nation, right? It wasn't just going to be a one-off in Kingston, Washington. And so he talked about some of the mind mapping they did, the focus group they did, and here's where you come in. Here's what they found, that after all that, and it was a little touchy-feely, but after all that, their customer is a 35 to 40-year-old woman who is purchasing medical cannabis products for one of her parents that she is a caretaker for. That was like their number one persona. Okay. I mean, there's all the personas you would expect, but that was the one that influenced the design, because what they ended up doing was ending up with these almost like little cafes, like Capital One banks. You see the ads on TV where a Capital One bank lobby is not a traditional bank. It's more like quite frankly, a Starbucks, a high-end Starbucks, and it just happens to be a bank. And that's what they ended up with. And they did that because of this 35 to 40-year-old woman wants to get over the stigma, the anxiousness, the nervousness, the this, the that. She needed to feel comfortable, educated, and secure in making the purchase. So that's news for you, my friend.
Can you send me a link? I'd like to check this guy out.
Yeah, I will do so, and I'll put it in the blog below for everybody to see. But that is pretty cool stuff. Dennis, I also want to extend an invitation to you and anybody listening. I've said it once, I've said it twice, but I will be at MJ Biz in Las Vegas. It's mid-December. It's taking up the entire Las Vegas Convention Center this year, so north and south. Yeah, 1,300 exhibitors. They are saying 35,000 attendees. I think they're lying. I think it will be 50,000 attendees because it was 30,000 last year. And if there's raise your hand, figuratively, but if there is interest, we're doing an Airbnb, myself, Jack Smith, Blake Swank. However many we get, we can get an Airbnb that would become Animal House. And we could have fun and take one car down to the, park one car instead of four, that kind of thing. Seriously, Dennis, we'd probably be looking at a house out in Henderson or something and just commute in.
I'm interested. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So I'll talk to you offline, but this is more for the benefit of the audience. My friend, we will see you on the air after the first of the year. Jenny's taking a well-deserved break. I guess I some level resemble that myself. So happy holidays, Dennis. Thanks for being a contributor in 2019.
Not a problem. Enjoyed doing it. See you next year.
All righty. Thank you.
Bye.